in normal day-to-day life, we are sometimes compelled to take loan, say home loan or a vehicle loan or personal loans. Now in all the cases, what we come across is that we need to know the EMI, also equated monthly installment, which we need to pay on a monthly basis. Now for calculation of an EMI, there are various options available with us. First, we can use the online calculators available on the internet. Second, we can use the maths formula which is available, or we can use in a formula available in Excel for calculation of EMI. Now online you can always see on any website of even the companies which give loan, they provide you the calculator. That is one option. Other option is that we can see it using the formula. If we see, the formula consists of a numerator and denominator part. It is written separately for just for the purpose of ease. So the numerator consists of the principal amount, the loan which you are taking, into the rate of interest, which is basically the monthly rate you need to calculate, into 1 plus r raised to power n, where n is the number of months for which the loan is being given, and the denominator is same 1 plus r power n, but this time it will be subtraction of 1. Now we will divide the numerator and denominator, we will get the value for the same. So if we use that, say in our case we are taking an example where we are taking a home loan of 36 lakh rupees for 30 years, and the rate of interest is 8% per annum. So if we calculate the EMI in this case, say if we start the formula, it is equal to, so first is the principal, so it will be 36 lakh multiplied by the rate of interest, which is monthly, so 8% is annually, so it will be 8% divided by 12 multiplied by 1 plus 8% divided by 12, the whole raised to. For the raised to we use basically shift 6, so this caret symbol comes up, power. Now the number of months we are years we are having is 30, so the number of months is 30 into 12, that is 360. So this is the numerator part. Now this whole thing has to be divided with 1 plus 8% divided by 12 raised to, again shift 6, 360 minus 1. Now press enter. So we'll get the value as 26,415.52. Now this is, as you can see, if we have to do it on pen and paper, it is we will need a calculator for the same, because it is raised to power 360 of a certain value. Or if we are using if we are doing in the way I have done just now, then you can see it is very odd looking formula. Now in Excel you get a simple formula for calculating the EMI, where that formula is known as PMT. Okay, so for calculating EMI, PMT is the formula. So let us see. So equal to PM, you will see that PMT is started showing up, so you can press tab. Now the first thing which we have to give is rate. Okay, then we have to give something known as NPER, then PV, then FV, and then the type. So we will come to all these things one by one. Before going there, let's put the values in the cells here. We can put it directly also, but for simplicity's sake we are putting it here. So rate is supposed to be monthly, so it is 8% divided by 12, so it is 0.67%. 30 years, the years has to be taken, the time period has to be taken in month, so it is 360. PV is the same value as the loan amount. In our case, FPV is not required, and type we will see as is beginning of the period. We will see in the formula how it is to be chosen. So say again, press PMT. So rate is the rate value which is to be taken on a monthly basis. So whatever rate which is going on, say around 8%, so you take the monthly value of it. That same thing which we have done earlier, 8% divided by 12. Then NPER basically represents the number of months for which the EMI has to be paid, or you can say the amount number of months for which the loan is being taken. So that will be 360, so select that value. Now PV is the present value, which basically means how much loan you are taking. So it is 36 lakh. Now in the case FPV, in this formula we don't need FPV value, that is future value of the thing. So it is basically 0. So you can omit it also. And type is basically there are two options available. One is end of period and one is beginning of the period. So it is basically about whether you are paying the installment at the start of the month or at the end of the month. Say we take first the option beginning of the period. So you can type 1 here and enter. So you will see the EMI value will come as 26,240, which is coming less than the value which we have calculated earlier. So why the difference? Because the type, if we would have taken it as 0, then this would be simply 26415.5. So basically the formula which we have used earlier is based on the assumption that it is done in the end of the period. So it is taking the 0 value. Now simple way to do this formula, another way is basically instead of putting the values in cells, by putting the values in cells, what we can do is we can keep on changing the values. Say if I want to change the rate of percent to 8.35, say which is the lowest rate which is going nowadays, so 8.35 will give you, the value will change, so we don't need to write the formula again. Okay, so putting in the cells basically helps us in this way. Else what you can also do is you can just type PMT the way we have done earlier. Rate is 8%, so 8% divided by 12, comma, NPR is basically 30 years, so 30 multiplied by 12, that is 360. Present value is 36 lakh, so 36,000 into 3, which is basically the loan amount. FV you can omit, so we can just leave the formula here if we don't have FV value. And if we want to take the type as, say for the time being I put FV as 0, and the type is basically we want 0, which is end of the period. So we can put this also, or we can just ignore this or omit these two values and just calculate the value, and we will get the same answer. So if you are going to calculate it for the end of the period, what you can do is just take the PMT function, put in the three values which are required, that is the rate of interest, the number of months for which the EMI has to be paid, or the loan amount, loan is taken, and the loan amount. So these three values in the PMT function will give you a value of the EMI which is to be there. Now actual value of EMI may vary a bit, but more or less the value will be around this value, that is around 27,000. Say in the case of if we have the same values as which are there here. Now one of the assumption in this case is that rate is fixed for the overall tenure of the loan period, that is it is going to be, say in our case, 8% for the whole 30 years. Now which is normally not the case, so the initially the value will remain the same, but as it changes you can calculate on the basis of that. So this is how you can easily calculate the EMI value for the loan which you have taken for any of the items which you have bought. So you have, other than the online option, you have the online calculator, you have the option of using the maths formula, or the, if you are conversant with Excel, you can use the Excel function of PMT to calculate the EMI value. I hope this video was clear to you and you got something useful out of this video. Thank you.